Hello and welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Adam Cellini. Well, the FBI director releasing his finding in the most recent part of that Hillary Clinton email investigation. It comes as Clinton and Donald Trump are both barnstorming battleground states across the country. ABC's Mary Bruce has more.
The final countdown of the campaign, and Hillary Clinton has a new reason to smile. This letter, a last-minute November surprise. The FBI tonight is standing by its decision not to bring a criminal case against Clinton for her use of a private email server. It's been 9 days since FBI Director James Comey rocked the campaign by announcing a renewed investigation into Clinton's emails. Now he's informing congressional leaders that based on our review, we have not changed our conclusions that we expressed in July with respect to Secretary Clinton. Those conclusions that Clinton should not be prosecuted.
We're glad that this matter is resolved.
On the trail Sunday, Clinton did not immediately address the news.
I hope Ohio will turn out in the biggest recorded vote in history on Tuesday.
The Democratic nominee instead calling on her star supporters like NBA champion LeBron James.
And I was around a community that was like, our vote doesn't matter, but it really does. It really does.
Clinton is gaining ground in our latest ABC News Washington Post tracking poll, up 48 to 43 against Donald Trump. Trump ignoring the FBI news during a stop in Minneapolis.
Don't vote for her. She'll be a lousy president anyway, believe me.
Trump making the most of his weekend push alone, targeting 5 states, including one where polls show he's already well ahead.
We weren't going to come back to Iowa. They said, Mr. Trump, you don't have to. You're leading by so much, you don't have to. I said, what do you mean I don't have to? I want to go to Iowa, which is true.
This final stretch, a fight to the very finish. Mary Bruce, ABC News, Washington.
And early voting may be over in Sarasota and Manatee counties, but local churches are spending their days in between pushing their congregations to head to the polls on Tuesday. ABC's Kate Flexter joins us from one of those churches with more. Kate?
Thanks, Adam. Here at Light of the World Church, the pastor had a really interesting message this morning. It was a call to action. He told the congregation that no matter which way you're voting, it's important to exercise that right. Across the state and the country, we've seen a lot of predominantly African-American churches doing similar things, some even providing transportation to make sure that the community is getting out and to those polls. It's part of a tradition known as Souls to the Polls. Right now, black voters only account for about 15% of early votes, as opposed to 2012 when they made up about 25% of those votes. That's according to a University of Florida political analyst. And the pastor says he's seen some of that apathy firsthand.
But I'm mostly concerned about those who just feel like their vote doesn't count and just kind of sit on the sidelines and let it play out. And I think that's a dangerous mentality.
Our ancestors went through a lot of hardship and a lot of sacrifice in order that we might have the right to vote. And so now that we have a right, you know, it's incumbent upon us to exercise that right.
Pastor Lumpkin did say, though, that a lot of people are waiting until Election Day to cast that vote. Live in Sarasota, Kate Flexter, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Kate, thank you very much. More on that story coming up later tonight. For now, multiple voters in Manatee County are concerned a possible voting scam may be going on through text message. Several voters receiving a text today with a link to the website iwillvote.com. After entering their address, they were instructed to go to the Supervisor of Elections office or the Rocky Bluff Library for early voting today. Both buildings were empty since early voting ended in Sarasota and Manatee counties on Saturday. A volunteer with a voting hotline in Tampa tells us they are aware of the error and are trying to take steps to correct that information, but they could not tell us what organization was responsible for sending out those misleading text messages. And on social media, some playful trickery in the final hours leading up to Election Day on Tuesday. The National Rifle Association thinks gun supporters and gun control advocates should vote on different days. The NRA posting a photo on Instagram showing 2 election dates. The picture shows the side of a building reading, "Remember your assigned voting days. Second Amendment supporters, November 8th. Gun control activists, November 9th. Election Day for all registered voters is, of course, November 8th. Florida will send at least 8 new members to the U.S. House during this year's election. That number could rise if incumbents lose in a handful of competitive races. Once voting ends Tuesday, the state will likely have a third of its congressional delegation going to Washington for their first year. 4 members are retiring, 2 sought other office, and 1 official is considering running for governor. The court-ordered redrawing of congressional maps is also contributing to the change. We've enjoyed some nice dry weather, a little break from the humidity lately. Let's head over to Wendy Ross for a first check on our weather today. Wendy?
Well, Adam, it got darker a little bit earlier tonight, so an hour earlier. As a result of that, we're looking at our temperatures in the 70s. It's 79 degrees right now. Yesterday at this hour, we were still in the 80s. We have fair skies all across our region, and we are looking at our dew point at 62 degrees, 56% humidity. So it's very comfortable outside. We've got the winds coming in out of the east-northeast, as they have been doing all day, 14-mile-per-hour winds. And for the rest of this evening, we are going to be seeing those temperatures staying in the 70s. By 11 o'clock tonight, we'll be under partly cloudy skies with a temperature reading at that time of 71 degrees. We don't have any rain. We've got a couple of showers trying to come at us from the east coast, but they just fall apart once they hit the central part of the state. So we're not looking at any rain for the rest of tonight. And we'll let you know how our work week forecast is coming up. We've got some changes we'll talk to you about, and that's all coming up in just a minute. Adam?
All right, thank you very much, Wendy. Stunning new developments in the kidnapping of a South Carolina woman. Police now believe her captor could also be a serial killer responsible for up to 7 murders. The man revealing more bodies on his property and admitting to several more killings. ABC's Mark Remillard has the latest.
Bizarre new twist in the investigation of accused killer Todd Kohlhepp, the South Carolina realtor facing a judge Sunday wearing an orange jailhouse jumpsuit.
You understand?
It's the same outfit he wore Saturday as he guided authorities back to his 100-acre property, where they say he showed them 2 shallow graves. Kohlhepp is in the spotlight after investigators found Kayla Brown alive but chained up in a storage container on his land. Brown and her boyfriend Charlie Carver had been missing for 2 months. Carver's body found Friday, shot multiple times.
Didn't even think for a minute that this had anything to do with that.
But the biggest bombshell so far, Kohlhepp allegedly confessing to a cold case mass murder. 4 people gunned down in a motorsports shop back in 2003. Sunday marks the 13th anniversary of that terrible day. The victim's family sitting in the courtroom as Kohlhepp officially faced murder charges.
I believe that there's evil in the world, and I hope to God that he does get what's coming to him.
So far, officials say Kohlhepp is cooperating with authorities, even as bulldozers, men on horseback, and police with dogs search his property for even more evidence, possibly even more victims.
We're still working this crime scene. We're not done yet.
The 45-year-old realtor has not entered a plea on any of the charges so far, but for some of the victims' families, just knowing the truth helps.
It's going to be the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, but if at some point I could actually pray with a gentleman, look him in his eye, and tell him I forgive him, and that he did not win.
Mark Remillard, ABC News, New York.
This isn't Kohlhepp's first run-in with the law. He was convicted in 1987 as a teenager of kidnapping and rape in Arizona. Court documents from that case file say Kohlhepp was obsessed with sex, weapons, and hurting others. Well, jury selection returns tomorrow in the case of a man charged in last year's Emmanuel AME Church shooting in Charleston. Dylan Roof will stand trial for gunning down 9 black parishioners last June. It's the first of 2 death penalty trials Roof faces for the shootings. The trial is expected to run through January. Roof faces another trial next year in state court, where he faces 9 counts of murder. Still to come here on ABC 7, the future of technology, how future leaders are making their mark to build a better future on the Sun Coast.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
Let SWC Properties sell your home today. Take advantage of this great market and sell your home for the most amount of money in the least amount of time. SWC Properties gives you the benefit of full-service marketing that sells your home faster with the fewest hassles. There are no hidden fees, and now for a limited time we'll list your home for 50% off. Wouldn't it feel great to save thousands and feel confident with your move? Give us a call for details or visit swcproperties.com and contact us for free information packet and find out why. It's simple. We just market your home better.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
Call right now to get your free Senior Care Compass ebook. Find out about the 5 best-kept secrets on financing senior care and assisted living.
Call now, 800-290-0352. 800-290-0352.
Technology is constantly changing throughout the world, and today's youth are the future leaders and source of that change. 12-year-old Isabella Bank is creating an energy app called Earthwise. She says it started out as a small idea that's now becoming a reality. Isabella says the need for programmers and developers will continue to grow with technology and expand to different types of fields to solve different problems.
There's always going to be problems to be fixed, and so I think programmers will always have a place in our world, and in 20 years, I guess they'll become the people who are the underlying base of our community.
And looking back, technology has improved drastically in only the past decade. The first generation iPhone was announced almost 10 years ago. Locals are working together to make higher education possible for students. The University of South Florida, Sarasota, and Manatee hosting its annual Brunch on the Bay event. More than a dozen restaurants from Sarasota and Manatee counties prepared their signature dishes for the event. More than 1,000 corporate donors, community leaders come together to make financial aid possible for students.
This is the first time these members of these families have actually ever been to college, and that's $100,000 of scholarships that went to these students, and that's phenomenal because it grows our community.
The Brunch on the Bay event has generated more than $1 million in scholarships for students over the last 20 years. And you can step back in time to feudal times this weekend at Sarasota's annual Medieval Fair. The festival begins this weekend and returned with the tournament, shows, food, festivities, and shopping. The festival is just behind the Sarasota Fairgrounds and has turned into a local tradition. It was founded in 2005 and brings in new visitors every year.
If you get into that time frame, it makes it even more, and try to get into the costume that doesn't look like necessarily a Halloween costume, get into the era is what I like to do.
There's like a booth and they sell shrunken heads and stuff, and like shrunken dragon heads. That one's really cool.
No need to worry if you didn't make it out this weekend. The Medieval Fair runs 2 more weekends. The last day is Sunday, November 20th. Well, local scuba divers and fishermen are making a game out of cleaning up the coast. They're competing to pick up the largest amount of trash in local waters. The event is hosted by the Coastal Conservation Association in Florida. The target areas stretch from the Skyway Bridge to the shorelines to Manatee and Braden Rivers, Sneed Island, and Bishop's Harbor. And hopefully they don't pick up a lot of trash at all.
Oh, wouldn't that be the best?
That would probably be a good thing.
People are pretty good. People are pretty good about taking good care of our beaches around here. They certainly look great. I just have to make one comment about yesterday, because yesterday you looked at me sort of like, oh my goodness, because I was telling people that they had to set their clocks back.
Yes, I
did. And you thought, you know, Wendy, all you have to do is go to sleep and everything sort of sets itself. Well, I want you to know, I got up this morning, the microwave, the oven, the sprinklers, the decorative clocks, they all had to be changed manually. So I want you to know, for those of you who have those issues, I was with you last night.
Fair enough.
I was with you. So I'm just letting you know you still have to do those things.
All right, for now.
Still have to do
Maybe
those
technology will catch up.
I
We'll
hope
see.
that little girl with her 20-year plan is going to get around to doing all of that for us. We are looking at some rain showers that are along the east coast of Florida right now, and those showers are trying to make their way into the central part of the state, and they pretty much come to an end right there because we still have this dry air sitting on top of us. We've got a couple of clouds out in the Gulf of Mexico, but they're not going to produce any rain for us, so we're not looking at any showers to develop. And right now we've got fair skies. We don't have any cloud cover sitting on top of us. And these showers, do you notice how they're just sort of dissipating as they start to move into the center part of the state? So they're not holding together. We're not likely to see them here. The best chance for us to get some rain is actually going to be on Wednesday, when there's the possibility of a low pressure system developing out in the Gulf of Mexico, and that'll give us our best chance of rain for this upcoming week. But in the meantime, it was a beautiful day today. Our temperatures were nice and warm. Readings got up into the mid 80s for the most part, but at the airport where we record all things, 87 was our actual daytime high, and it was also 87 degrees yesterday, so we mimicked today with our temperature. 66 was the overnight low. Normally we're at 81 and 62 for the overnight low, so we've got a ways to go before we're normal, and we could start to see that beginning next week. But right now it's 79 degrees. We have fair skies. Dew point and humidity levels are moderate. The winds are coming in out of the east-northeast as they've been doing all day long. 14-mile-per-hour winds, gusting up to about 20 miles per hour. We're going to see that repeated again tomorrow. And right now we're looking at temperatures everywhere in the 60s and 70s. And across our viewing area, we're all in the 70s right now, with the exception of Lake Placid at 69 degrees there. And Bradenton is reporting 80. You'll be 79 very quickly. That may be a misread. We're also looking at 75 on Longboat Key and 74 degrees on Siesta Key. So at the water, you're a little bit cooler than some locations. High pressure is dominating our forecast all across the eastern seaboard, all the way down through the state of Florida. It's what's helping to bring about those northeasterly winds, and once again, they're going to be quite strong for tomorrow. So this high pressure system will continue to prevail and bring about the beautiful weather that we've been experiencing. That will continue for Monday and Tuesday. And again, we may see a low pressure system developing out here in the Gulf of Mexico, and that could bring us our best chance of rain for this week. That would be on Wednesday. Meantime, it's going to be windy again tomorrow. It will be dry. We're not expecting to see any rainfall, and a cold front is expected to come through on Friday. And so what that means is our temperatures will start to get back to normal. And so on Friday, we could see a temperature high of 81 degrees, and with that passage of the front, we might even see our temperatures in the upper 70s for daytime highs. But tomorrow, it will be pretty much the same as today, breezy with a high of about 85 degrees. Adam?
Now, sports.
The Buccaneers taking a break this weekend after a Thursday night loss to Atlanta, but a few miles south, the Miami Dolphins return from their bye week for a seesaw game with division rival New York Jets. Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Jets seeking their third straight win, and early on getting some help from Matt Forte. First quarter, the veteran bursts through the middle for a 31-yard touchdown, puts New York on top 10-7. In the second, Miami answers. Tannehill hits Dominique Jones for a 1-yard catch. The Dolphins regain the lead in this one. Then later, after a fumbled punt in the fourth quarter, Fitzpatrick finds the rookie Jalen Marshall for an 18-yard touchdown and a late 3-point lead. But on the ensuing kickoff, another rookie, Kenyon Drake, calls for the ball and takes it 96 yards to the house. The Dolphins take the lead and the victory 27-23. The latest college football AP poll is out, and the top 10 teams remain relatively unchanged. 1 through 6 all survive with wins on Saturday. The closest was number 1 Alabama with a 10-0 victory against LSU. The bottom 4 teams, however, shuffling a little bit. Nebraska and Florida both slip out of the top 10 following losses. Texas A&M falls to the 10 spot after a huge upset against Mississippi State. And Auburn and Oklahoma both move into the mix with conference wins. Now, the AP poll did not mirror the first college playoff rankings released last week. The committee's next rankings will come out on Tuesday. Kenya's Mary Katani is the new running queen of Manhattan. The 34-year-old won her 3rd straight New York City Marathon today with an unofficial time of 2 hours, 24 minutes, and 26 seconds. She becomes the first woman to win 3 consecutive marathons in New York City since Greta Waitz in the 1980s. American Molly Huddle finished 3rd in her debut after breaking the U.S. 10,000-meter record at the Rio Olympics. And good news for the future of the Tampa Bay Rays. Brent Honeywell, the organization's number 2 prospect, was lights out in Saturday's Arizona Fall League All-Star game. Honeywell started the game for the West team, striking out 5 of 6 batters faced. His success was in part due to the ability to throw a screwball, a pitch rarely seen in pro baseball these days. Honeywell was a 2nd-round pick for the Rays back in 2014. He finished last season with a 2.28 ERA in 5 starts with AA Montgomery. More to come here on ABC 7. Stay with us.
Hurricane season is here, and Suncoast weather can go from this to this in seconds. So when severe weather threatens, count on the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC 7.
We're armed with the most advanced weather technology so that we can bring you storm warnings faster and with more detail than ever before.
Plus, we focus on the Suncoast and track storms right down to your neighborhood.
On air, online, and on your mobile device. Turn to the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, you'll always get the most for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And right now, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing. Complimentary maintenance included at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
This is a special health alert for seniors suffering with joint pain. If you have Medicare insurance, you may qualify for high-quality support braces at little or no cost.
I'm thrilled with my knee braces.
Now, there is a simple and proven solution for seniors to get out of pain with state-of-the-art support braces.
I barely feel any pain at all.
Braces for your knees and back, as well as your shoulders and ankles, too.
I'm so happy with the quality of these braces.
Call now, and you could qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
I can play ball again, and it doesn't hurt.
And because of my Medicare coverage, it costs me next to nothing.
So call now.
And because I have this red, white, and blue Medicare card, my braces have cost me just about nothing.
It's true. You may get a knee, back, shoulder, and ankle brace at little or no cost.
They qualified me for 2 knee braces and a back brace.
If you have knee or back pain, give them a call. They can help.
1-800-476-8967. 1-800-476-8967.
Could pancakes and pickles become the next green eggs and ham? A local father and son duo were out in the community today promoting a children's book that they wrote. The book is named Pancakes and Pickles, and they came up with the idea while sitting in a dinner when co-author says Shimberg was 13 years old. Now 3 years later, they hope they can make their book, or they hope their book can make a difference.
The book, I think, is really fun to read. We highlighted all the letters so it can help kids that are just trying to figure out which letter is which. We also, obviously because it's alliteration, emphasized sounds and pronunciation.
All proceeds for the book go to the Miracle League, a nonprofit group that aims to create an opportunity for all children to play baseball, including those with disabilities. So far, they have raised over $2,000. For more information on Pancakes and Pickles and to learn where to buy the book, visit our website, mysuncoast.com. And finally tonight, a huge surprise for a North Carolina mom and her 5 children. Their house was heavily damaged by the flooding from Hurricane Matthew. Kim Butch was at work when the heavy floods during the hurricane washed through her home. Now, thanks to hundreds of volunteers, they have a newly built place to call home. They all came together for the surprise unveiling, which was nothing short of amazing. Look at that.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's your community stepping up for you up there in North Carolina. It's nice to have some good news after Hurricane Matthew.
Oh my gosh, isn't that wonderful? Yeah. And I love that story about pickles and pancakes. Isn't that what goes into a child's book? Isn't that something?
I don't know, I'm a little intrigued myself. Yeah.
Wow, that's neat.
Sounds good.
Neat.
Well,
yes.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys later tonight.